Okay, let's look at this chart here. It's the pound dollar on the 2-minute time frame. I chose this time frame to show you that all these market conditions and everything that Naveen teaches applies to any time frame, even this lower time frame. Okay, and in these lower time frames, you will see exactly the same things regarding market conditions. You will see channels, ranges, trends, everything. Okay, so right now, just look at this chart. Try to see the overall breach, the guy who started, what is the overall territory we are in. Just try to check the entire picture, and then try to look if we have some kind of market condition, if we have ranges, channels, trends, or a mix of both. Just try to figure out the entire picture on this chart. Okay, so from here we can see that we breached below, we held, we breached below again at this area. The guy who started was there. Okay, and then we tried to breach here, but it was fake. Okay, tried to breach, came back, hold, came back again, and at this point it didn't go lower. Okay, so but after this we have a breach to the upside also. Okay, so we are at this area here, we have a buyer's territory already. But before we go into that, we are looking at this chart. The major breach we can see is this one. After this, we go higher here, but it fakes, it holds above. Okay, it challenges the guy who started, and it crashes again. Okay, it makes this kind of a V formation here, a weird one, but yes, kind of a V. Okay, this rests fully. But then if this was a V, and this was the test, where is this test ending? Above the V. Okay, this doesn't work. Your test phase, it shouldn't go above the full rest. Okay, and we can see this full rest from here. Okay, it can be from this place here. Okay, this is the full rest here. Or if we are looking at the V formations, and we are looking at that in the next few weeks, this would be the V. Okay, but we will get into these topics later. Okay, but we are looking at this, and we are seeing some interesting things. So the first one is that these lows are getting higher. Every time they're getting higher. Okay? This is the first one. And if we start to trace these lows, interesting, right? Interesting. Let's just clean this up. We have these lows grinding up all the time. And we see also another thing is that the buyers are strong and the sellers are strong. But every time the buyer comes in, especially when this guy is challenged, the seller is strong, but what happens to this seller immediately? He rests 100% here. And then he can't run further. It stops at this area. Okay? And at the same time, you have these tops going higher as well. Okay? This is a little spike from there, okay? But we continue to see this pattern all over again, okay? It goes higher and higher and higher, okay? The lows get higher, and these tops get higher as well, okay? The highs get higher as well. Now, if we were looking at this as a channel, this would have a problem, okay? Because we are still looking at this as a trend at the beginning. And from a trend perspective, all of this rests, like you have the first rest here, but these tests go all the way and go above. This test, okay, goes above. Okay, it's always staying a bit higher. This lows, okay, this seller is not performing at all. So as we see this, we need to start to think, what is happening? What is wrong with this seller? And especially when this happens, okay, when this guy is challenged and this breaks to the upside, okay, here, at this point, the channel terminates, okay? If we were looking to buy this as a channel, our opportunities would be here and here. But this would be a counter trend, right? So it's risky. But at the same point, we couldn't really sell this from a channel perspective because our seller is nowhere to be found. And these buyers, look at these buyers, super strong, okay? So from a channel perspective, you are trapped inside these two fields where you have your seller is not performing and this buyer is in a counter trend, so it's best not to touch it. But at this point, we have a trend, okay? After we break this guy, okay, this guy up here, after we break it, we hold and we break it again, okay? So this is a breach, and at this point, this is trending, even though we continue to see the channel, okay? Because we continue to see the channel. But at some point we broke, we tried to go long, okay, go to the a big buyer's territory, but the seller started to come in, but look, he's not coming in deep, okay? He's holding at SNR, okay, every time. And at this point, at the end, you can see this fight, okay? All this fight here. Then it breaks out of this channel. So why don't you pause the video and try to think, what happened here? Okay. I can even push this here. Just try to figure out why did this happen? Just try to think with the tools you have right now. Try to think about this. Okay, so the main thing here is that we see that we have a main downtrend. Okay, this is a main downtrend. We broke above, and this buyer is looking to buy. Okay, this buyer is looking to buy because from this time frame, from this perspective, this went above and it stayed above. But as soon as it goes against this bigger trend, something happens here, and we will learn this in the next few weeks. This is a really interesting spot, which is called a money spot, okay? Something big is here waiting. Just look at the amount of buying and selling that occurs here at this point. And when this seller wins, it's game over, okay, for this buyer. It just keeps going lower and lower, and it goes lower, even lower, okay? So this area here is channeling all this time, and here the fight starts, it breaks out, and finally you have your seller. But it's not this seller anymore, it's a bigger one, okay? Something bigger. So every time you see this kind of behavior in the market where all of a sudden you see on your time frame this kind of volatility, okay, some big pushes from the buyer and from the seller, you are probably inside a money spot, okay? You will learn this in the next few weeks, and this money spot is some bigger time frame trying to come in, okay? And this bigger time frame will show you aggressiveness in your time frame, okay? I hope you like this example. Cheers.